They say the perfect crime doesn't exist. They're wrong. The perfect crime exists every single time someone decides to look the other way. For every closed case, there's a story untold, a shadow that lingers long after the headlines fade. And in this city, shadows have a way of holding on to secrets. Detective Miller had been on the force for 20 years. 20 years of chasing ghosts down rain-slicked alleys and learning the city's rhythm of deceit. He thought he'd seen it all. He knew the smell of a lie before the suspect even opened their mouth. It was a sixth sense, a grim intuition honed by years of wading through the darkest parts of human nature. He trusted his gut more than he trusted most people. But this time, the case was different. This time, the lie wasn't coming from the suspect. It was whispering from the evidence itself, weaving a story that defied all logic. A bloodstained key was found at the scene of the latest homicide, a brutal killing that had the whole department on edge. The forensics team ran the sample, expecting to find a link to a known criminal, a transient, anyone with a motive. The result that came back was impossible. The DNA on that key matched a man named Michael Thorne, a well-respected businessman, a family man, a man who had been dead for 10 years. A man Miller himself had attended the funeral for, watching as his casket was lowered into the cold, hard ground. Miller had buried him, but now his ghost was back, leaving a trail of blood. Suddenly, Miller's perfect record, his unshakable confidence, it all started to crack. Was this a copycat? A frame-up so elaborate it bordered on genius? Or was something far more sinister at play? He started digging back into the cold case of Michael Thorne's death, officially ruled an accident. The deeper he dug, the more he realized the official story was just that, a story. His investigation led him to the one person who should have been grieving the most, the victim's widow, Eleanor. At first glance, she was the picture of a mourning wife, draped in black, her face a mask of sorrow. But Miller saw through the performance. He saw the flicker of something else in her eyes, not grief, but a hardened resilience. He realized Eleanor wasn't just a widow. She was a survivor with a secret she had guarded for a decade. Miller uncovered a twisted history of betrayal. Years ago, Eleanor had sold her first husband, Michael Thorne, out to a ruthless crime boss to cover her own gambling debts. She had orchestrated his accident and walked away with his fortune, playing the part of the grieving widow to perfection. Now, her past had come back to haunt her. Her new husband, the recent victim, had discovered her secret and was about to expose her. So, she did what she did best. She eliminated the threat. The bloody key was a message, a ghost from the past she had used to frame a dead man, a final, cruel act of manipulation. In the end, Miller learned a hard lesson. There are three sides to every story: the truth, the lie, and the part we all choose to forget. We construct our own realities, burying the inconvenient truths beneath layers of comfortable falsehoods. Miller had believed in the system, in justice, in the clear line between right and wrong. But this case showed him that the line was not only blurry, it was often non-existent. He had solved the case, but the victory felt hollow. He had exposed a monster, but in doing so, he had to confront the darkness that allows such monsters to exist. Sometimes, justice isn't about putting someone behind bars. Sometimes, it's about acknowledging the uncomfortable truth that the person hunting the monster is the one who, through inaction or ignorance, allowed it to be created in the first place. For Miller, the city would never look the same again. Every shadow now held the potential for a truth he wasn't sure he was ready to face. If you enjoy stories that explore the darker side of human nature, make sure to subscribe. We dive deep into new mysteries every week. Thanks for watching.